the last part, okay, the last part of this topic, we talks about alternative cooling technologies. That means other than using vapor compression cycle, which is what we have learned since topic 1, okay, they always try to find out whether there are other kind of technologies that we can use to replace this vapor compression cycle. Okay, so these are a list of cycle that people has come up with, but a lot of them is still at the R&D stage and is not as efficient as the original cycle. The only one that come close, okay, will be the absorption cycle. So maybe I'll just talk a little bit about this absorption cycle. So what they are trying to do, right, is to replace the compressor, okay, because we know that the compressor is the one that consumes energy inside this vapor compression cycle. So what can we replace the compressor with? Okay, something that can cause an increase in pressure, okay, without using a compressor. So they use this method, okay, to substitute the compressor. They use one additional cycle within this part, the compressing part. So this cycle, right, basically it does not use any electrical power. If you can notice, the only electrical power it uses is for the pump. This P represents the pump. So what the pump do is, it will circulate this refrigerant around, okay? But this refrigerant, right, it will first be mixed with some liquid, okay? So the liquid will absorb with the original refrigerant gas, okay? So we call that the absorber liquid. So what it does, it push the liquid around, okay? But when near to the condenser side, you are going to heat it up, okay? Heat up this liquid and refrigerant mixture, okay? Why do they do that? Is to create a difference in pressure again, okay? That's our sole purpose. So the main energy sources is actually over here, the heat input, rather than using electrical input. So what kind of heat input can we use? Okay, so instead of electrical input, heat input is being used. Okay, so amazingly, this cycle, right, is able to convert heat into cooling. So you may ask, where does the heat comes from? Okay, so the heat, right, there are a few methods. The best, right, okay, or a cheaper alternative is by burning gases, because we know burning gases is cheaper than maybe getting the electrical from the grid. Okay, but of course this is also not very ideal. Okay, electrical heating is definitely strongly discouraged because the efficiency is poor. Okay, if we are going to use electrical heating, we might as well use the original vapor compression cycle. Okay, so the best source of heat will be waste heat. What do we mean by waste heat? For example, such as a power generation plant, there is always those steam and hot water that will be purged out, okay, from the plant. So instead of purged out to the atmosphere, it can be used to generate this absorption cycle, okay, to kickstart the absorption cycle. If not, we can also use sunlight or solar heat in order to make this cycle works. So the best is using so the benefits of this chiller, right, is very reliable because there's no compressor, there's no moving parts. Okay, it's very quiet because there's no vibration because of compressor. And you are able to achieve free cooling, okay, if you have waste heat. Okay, if you purposely go and generate the heat, then it's not very effective. But if that heat, instead of being thrown out to the atmosphere and you go and grab it and go and heat up your cycle, then that's what we call free cooling. But absorption chiller may not be super common. Why? Because it's larger in size. Okay, for the size is it requires more materials to manufacture the absorption chiller. Okay, and when you are not able to get enough waste heat, you may need to have some backup, and the backup is always using gas or electricity. So that is something not desirable. And lastly, the COP for absorption chiller is actually very poor. That means you will maybe need a lot of waste heat in order to generate 1 ton of cooling. So only if you are able to have a lot of waste heat, okay, and you have nothing to use for that, no use for that, then absorption chiller is a very viable option.